then I'm going to give you advice on the wrong shit. And then you're actually just leading yourself astray.
I go to put it together and I'm missing all of these elements.
Yeah.
So until we can create an environment where conversations worth having, these difficult conversations that men tend to avoid, the reason why Circle Up exists is to give them the space to be able to at least show up. Right? Maybe it takes some time to learn to be vulnerable. Maybe it takes some time to feel comfortable and trust and to know it's a confidential space, somewhere where I can actually, I had a conversation last night with a friend, a mutual friend of ours, where if fundamentally I'm giving you bullshit about what's happening in my life and the reason why things aren't going the way I want them to, then all of the advice that I get or all of the solutions we create is based off a reality that is an illusion.
Yeah, it's like if you're trying to bake a cake and you're literally lying to me around what ingredients you have, then I'm going to give you advice on the wrong shit. And then you're actually just leading yourself astray.
I go to put it together and I'm missing all of these elements. So until we can create an environment where being completely upfront is possible, where I can actually get to the root and the cause of what's really making me struggle right now, then all of the solutions and next steps and conversation we have really just seems like it's a waste of time for the most part. So talk to me about, because one of the things I see you do really well is you're very disarming, and you give people the space to be able to be vulnerable, and you make people comfortable really easily. And so I'm wondering, when we're talking about masculine relationships, when we're talking about having difficult conversations, how do you think about creating a space that we can be open and honest and true to ourselves and other people?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Marcus Aurelius quote that I've told you about before, where it said something along the lines of, if you want someone to trust you and you actually say, believe me, you don't have to say, trust me, and then say it, because if you are trustworthy and you mean it, it will come off in all of everything. So it's instead of trying to find some sort of hack communication style on the output scale, that's
I say this and then they
it's
say
get rooted into your actual intent, because when you're being authentic, it's when you're incongruent and you're telling people the wrong things and you're doing this, and then you want a person to believe you, but you can't have it show up in your body language because you don't even believe yourself. So, and that's what Jordan Peterson would say. That's what Sam Harris would say around lying, is the biggest problem with lying, even from the most selfish perspective, is once you hear words come out of your mouth with conviction that you know not to be true, you've just degraded your word with yourself. It's like you didn't pay your credit card to yourself with your word. And you can kind of maybe get away with certain things, but if you let that momentum come, then you're not going to be able to say, you might have to say, trust me first to get them to believe you, because it's not going to sound believable when you just say it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like every time you tell a lie, maybe your life doesn't erode right in front of your eyes, but it's like a piece of fabric where one of the threads comes loose, and then every time you tell the lie, it just unravels and unravels deeper and deeper. Then all of a sudden you got this giant cord sticking out.
And you get a chance to really see if your word's real too. Because for example, when we were in Santa Teresa, you and our buddy Shay had an ATV, and you're only supposed to have 2 people. We had 3 people hop on an ATV, went to a parking lot. One of the people of the company followed us and was going to give them a big couple $100 ticket.
Yeah,
they were getting mad. Yeah, and they were going to get mad, and they were kind of going back and forth, our friend and I. And I just looked at him. I'm like, please, we won't do this again. I looked him in the eye, and I just I literally just tried to communicate my genuine feelings. I wasn't as soon as I get out of this ticket, fuck this guy. It was to actually believe it. And then where it really hit, because us and Shay talked about that a lot. And then also we were in a car, we were at a party, and there was some girl who wanted to jump 3 on. She's like, no, we can't do it. Maybe we should have 3. And then Shay and I were no, we're not going to do that. Shay's we kind of looked the guy in the eye.
So we gave him our word.
We looked the guy in the eye and gave him our word, so we can't do that. And then the thing about that, in that situation, you mean it and it works. But then when you do something you weren't supposed to, you look them in the eye, whoever it is, and you say, I won't do it again. And then you don't do it again. That's what gives you the power to look in the eye of the person the next time and be genuine with it, because you know that you're not just doing lip service.
Yeah. It's like every genuine, authentic conversation that leads to genuine, authentic action reinforces that that's who I am.
Yeah, and like everything will be either building the momentum and inertia of your word or your integrity, or it's moving it away.
Yeah, Jim Rohn says you're either growing or you're dying.